Hey guys, this is your girl Phoenix. Thank you so much for being patient for these health updates and for the series. Like, I have so much going on that I didn't anticipate. Even though this has been a horrible year, it has also been a very blessed year as far as being able to kind of make the best out of a funky situation. So today, this part of the series, I want to talk about blood clots. They are the silent killers. So for me, my congestive heart failure was actually caused by blood clots that mysteriously appeared. The doctors still don't know where my blood clots came from, which is why I'm taking high dose anticoagulants, and I will be taking those for life. But for me, the blood clots just appeared in my system. Blood clots are called the silent killer for a reason, you guys. Like, they don't give you a lot of warning. You will just have a widowmaker heart attack where your heart is completely blocked and your chances of survival are very, very slim. It's really, you're a walking miracle and a blessing if you've had one of those widowmaker heart attacks like I have. I definitely recognize that every single day is a blessing for me. So this is what you want to look out for when it comes to blood clots. The number one thing is swelling. Typically speaking, and I'm an abnormal case, but typically speaking, for everybody else that isn't a weirdo like me, your blood clots will start in your legs. That's typically where you will have the clotting issue start to occur, is at the bottom. So you will have redness, you will have swelling. In my case, it was very, very subtle, but I would notice that, especially on the right side, after work, when I was working, I would start to get swelling. So that was my first sign, was definitely the swelling. The second sign that you're going to look for is definitely increased dizziness or lack of circulation. Like, you know how you get that pins and needle feeling inside when you've been sitting too long? Now I definitely experience it a lot more because now I obviously have a circulation issue. Like, my heart is not working at its full capacity. So my limbs have a tendency to fall asleep on me kind of when you feel like it. But before you have this condition, if you are noticing that you're having a lot of tingling in your limbs, especially for me when I got stressed out, I would kind of get like full body tingles, or I would kind of lose feeling in certain parts. Pay attention to that, because that is your body letting you know that you have a blockage somewhere in there. I also had a whole lot of sweating during this time. I would perspire a lot. I had a lot of heart palpitations. A lot of my symptoms mirrored the symptoms of having an anxiety attack, which is why it was so hard for me to catch. And if you're a woman, you already know, between juggling 9 million things and just the stress and anxiety of trying to juggle all of those things, a lot of us are dealing with anxiety issues right now, or a panic attack feeling. So for me, I would spontaneously get those panic attack feelings where my heart would just be palpitating. And the whole time I didn't realize I had a blockage in there, and that is why it was struggling so much. So blood clots are something that they're really, really hard to diagnose. It's one of those things that they don't leave a lot of signs or symptoms. So you really have to be in tune with your body. If your heart has been palpitating, or you feel it beating funny, or you feel that anxious feeling out of nowhere, that anxious feeling is your heart racing. It's giving your body an indication that something is wrong. So if you're at rest and you're feeling that, there's definitely an issue. It might be a blood clot in there, or it could just be an issue with how your heart is beating or how it's functioning. I'm not a cardiac doctor. All I can kind of tell you guys is my experience, and because my case is so weird, it kind of goes across the board for a lot of heart and health conditions. It kind of just, covers that. So for me, literally with my case, even though it was just blood clots that led to my heart attack, I now have congestive heart failure. I now have issues with my lungs because I have blood clots in my lungs as well. They kind of just set a path of wreckage everywhere they went. So you want to avoid that by just being really, really in tune with your body. If you have a day that you wake up and you are just feeling extremely tired, you're sweating, you're feeling nauseated, the whole 9 yards, but you don't have, you're not sick, that's when you need to go and definitely have them check your heart. If it wasn't for the nurse that said, wait a minute, let's just check her, I probably wouldn't be here right now, because they were like, oh, I was 34 at the time. So it's like, oh, 34-year-old woman, she seems like she's in good health. Maybe it's a anxiety issue. But nobody caught the fact that I was having a widowmaker heart attack. But that one nurse was just like, let's just check her heart to be sure. And then they're like, oh crap, she's definitely having a heart attack. Which thank God I made it out of, because I didn't have until the next day where they were able to do my surgery. Because once they took a full body scan and they saw that I had a couple clots blocking my heart, a clot, in my lungs. I had another one in my leg. Like, they were just all over the place. So they're just like, what the hell? Like, how is this possible? But yeah, my blood is like Mississippi molasses. It's just thick and wants to clot. Okay, so you find out that you have a blood clot or you have a clotting disorder or something, and they tell you you have to go on anticoagulants. What's next? So when you first find out about your blood clots, they're going to put you on something called Lovenox. So basically, it's not safe for them to just use the pills initially to keep your blood from clotting. So you're going to have to take daily injections. For me, they were twice a day, and I had to take 130 milligrams in a syringe in my stomach twice a day. I hated those times, you guys. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was very unhappy during those times. The shots can be kind of painful. Anybody who is currently going through Lovenox right now, if you need any help with that process, definitely leave me a comment, and I can definitely kind of help walk you guys through the process of taking the shots, what you can expect as far as pain level, as far as recuperation, the whole 9 yards. But for me, it took a while to thin my blood out because it's so thick. So I was on these shots for about 6 weeks before I was finally at a therapeutic enough level for me to take the medications to kind of balance it out. I hated those 6 weeks. I was like, God, why didn't you just take me, Lord? Why didn't you just take me? I'm glad he didn't. Now I've gotten over it and I'm an adult. I've had to take those shots a few times in the 2 years since my diagnosis. And granted, no, it's not fun every time I have to take them. However, it does get to a point where it's a bearable, controlled pain. It's something that, sadly enough, that pain becomes a part of your daily routine. And another thing I just want to mention is, once your body goes through a hit like this, the pleasure of waking up and just knowing how your body is going to respond is gone to you. Your days will now be filled with uncertainty. I know that's a very scary thing, but eventually the uncertainty will become a routine. Like for me at this point, after 2 years, I'm stable. What that means is, yeah, I still have congestive heart failure. I still have bad days, but I'm in a position to be able to manage it myself. I can kind of feel when it's coming, and I kind of know how to hit it off at the pass to make myself as comfortable as I can. However, it doesn't change the fact that I still have a very nasty illness, one that loves to rear its ugly head. It's a chronic condition. And that's what you have to remind yourself, guys. It's chronic. It's always going to be there. Yes, you will have great days. And I live for those great days. Like today, I was able to, take a long walk with the dogs. We had great weather here in Maryland. That's where I am. So we had great weather here in Maryland. I was able to take an extra long walk with the dogs and get some stuff done around the house, record 2 videos today. But I know in exchange for that, chances are, maybe not tomorrow, but the day after, I'm going to be a little extra tired. So you have to kind of balance yourself. You got to be patient with yourself. This is a lifelong commitment to patience with yourself. That's the best way I can put it. You're going to feel your decisions a lot faster than you did when you were younger. If you eat a crappy meal now, you're going to feel that. You don't take your medications, you're going to feel that. So just keep that in mind. But as far as the congestive heart failure goes, you can still enjoy your life. Yes, I'm now 36 years old and I'm no longer working. However, I have filled my days with activities. I now have a better relationship with my friends and family. Life will find a way to fill that time. So just be patient with yourself. I know right now you probably feel like a bump on the log, but when you have those bump on the log days, don't feel bad. Remember all the stuff that you did before that to kind of give you that little extra boost. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. I know it's not a whole lot of information about blood clots, but unfortunately, like I said, they're a silent killer. So I could just give you the warnings that I experienced and tell you, to see your healthcare professional. And kind of what to look out for. So the next part of this series is going to be disability. How to get your disability approved, whether or not you would be considered for disability. I will have that video out, you guys, within the next week, because that is important information, especially in this economic climate where a lot of us can't work. You need to figure out how you can still survive and get the assistance that you need. And disability is a way of doing that. And for those of you who can still work a little bit, there are some programs for you. So we'll kind of go over all of that good stuff. But thank you so much again for being patient. Definitely leave me a like or subscribe if you like this information and you kind of want to keep up with it. If not, no pressure. It's whatever, you guys, So take care, be blessed, and I will catch you later this week. Bye.